Let's see what Al Hilal have got up their sleeve. This is a little better. Ball inside, dealt with by the Machine de Rook. It's a valiant effort here from Shalulile. In the end, touchline wins the race. Now this might be another chance for Sundowns, for Sereno. Shalulile. There's a good run in there from Zwane. Sereno didn't find him. Now the little flick on. Chance across. And so Franco forces the corner. And Ouattara, he's got something to say. Is it to the referee or is it to his teammates?
That's a good passage of play from Sereno, combining with Franco Tembazwane. And I think with Al Hilal, one thing that they probably may be struggling to understand is Mamelodi Sundowns are pressing them so hard. They still want to play out from the back, and they conceded a goal because they're trying to play from the back. And yet again, there was an opportunity for Mamelodi Sundowns from that.
Now here comes the set piece. They had moved on Yango forward. Charlie doesn't go for the long range shot. I think he was thinking about it, but needed to settle that ball under the foot. Player of the month after the last set of DSTV Premiership Awards. Coach Motto was previously the assistant here, and they've stuck with him. Do have a high turnover of coaches at Al Hilal, and oftentimes do look for foreigners. Former coaches include Micho from Orlando Pirates, and of course Frenchman Dennis Lavanja, who played who coached here for a very short time in the PSL with Free State Stars. A little bit of a South African connection there, but they there's no mercy for coaches if you don't win in North Africa, that's for sure. Waladin gets it out wide. Chase is on here. Cover defense from Lekay. El Hassan picked up by Ajugan. They'll be looking for him to steer things around. General Tiri here. Two former PSL players. Away by De Rook. He got caught late as well. I think an apology there from Mustafa, Ibrahim Mustafa, former Nyimba player.
And Mark, you look at the aerial presence of Mustafa and Yusuf Rahman there as two strikers when Al Hilal are in possession. You're expecting them to be putting those balls inside the box to try and create, especially knowing that they do have a little bit of a height against Deruk and against Onyango at the back there. But they still want to play out from sides and allow Mamelodi Sundowns to regroup and defend, and that's going to make things a little bit difficult for them because they are trailing 1-0. They need to come back into the game.
It's been the one factor about these Sudanese sides, particularly here in South Africa, lost all of their past matches. And at home are a whole different proposition. They are buoyed, of course, there by the big crowds. They get the real passionate support and maybe not such good travellers.
Yeah. And that shows the support for them. It's so important because it energizes them, and that's going to be a problem for Sundowns. So getting maximum points here today and getting those goals, it's very key for Mamelodi Sundowns, because at Sudan, when they face Al Hilal second round, anything can happen.
Charlie finds Kutsia. Very much the two key midfield men for Sundowns. Kutsia's had one or two injury-enforced breaks this season. Charlie's been a lot more consistent, although we do know he does have the occasional hamstring breakdown. Now this could be a little bit dangerous. Some unorthodox defending there from Rushin de Rook.
This is the main boy that we spoke about. Abdallah, especially on the left-hand side, is very aggressive. He's forever going to come in there in those areas. And I think that's why Mudau is playing intentionally to be able to guard him, because Mudau doesn't provide much going forward from Mamelodi Sundowns. I think that was a smart move, but they need to be able to close him down to stop him from bringing in those balls, because that's defending them inside the box. It's always going to cause problems for Mamelodi Sundowns.
Ajugan joining Piri. Now, this might be Ajugan's opportunity. Left-footed shot, not enough power to test Dennis Onyango, but found himself a little bit of space there. Al Hilal's first trip to South Africa back in May 2004 when they met SuperSport United in the Champions League. It was a preliminary round match. In those days, SuperSport coached by Pitso Mosamani. I think they were about to sign you then. I'm not sure you had arrived yet, but the late Abraham Rasulamani was amongst the goal scorers. They beat Al Hilal by 2-0 here at home. Since then, Al Hilal have taken on Orlando Pirates, lost here in 2006 in South Africa. Sundowns beat them as well in 2008, and then last year, of course, these two teams were in the group as well. Now Serino will need some treatment. Boom. Well, that was from the youngster Mugadam, just turning around and head on head. I don't think that was intentional. No,
it wasn't intentional at all. You could see that he was just trying to look for the ball on the ground, and unfortunately there Serino got caught. You can see that it looks like a broken nose from Serino.
Yeah, that was my first impression. I'm no doctor, but that's exactly what I thought. That looked really, really bad. Almost immediately, and they're going to need the stretcher. This is bad news for Sundowns, because Serino, they had great expectations for him today. They really feel he's buzzing at the moment, turning it on in training. And there is the signal from, I think you read that 100% right, Teko, or Dr. Teko we should call you now, because that it looked, at that first glance, there was a big swelling almost immediately, and the doctor said, let's make the change. Broken nose, definitely, for Gaston Serino. They've got the medical team out there now, but Serino's going to need something done there. Here he goes, and then turns around and boom, straight on the kisser. And then when we saw a close-up of Serino, it certainly looked as if there'd been a knock on the nose. Oh, the blood flowing immediately as well for Gaston Serino.
Especially, you know, like you said earlier, I think he's been itching to come back and play, and they've been given an opportunity again to play in this game, to start the game rather, and to go out on an injury. I think that should be a blow for him and for Mamelodi Sundowns as well, because you want your players like your Serino to, when they're confident enough, you know, you step out into the game knowing that you can beat anybody, especially your star players when they're on top of their game.
Concern for Mangobe Mniki. What will the decision be here? We did see a little shot there of Surprise Olani standing by to come on. He's made a very quick impression since joining, and he'll be up against his former clubmate Ajugan. They were in City colours a month ago. Now they're on opposing sides of the field in a Champions League match between Sundowns and Al Hilal, of course. Looks like Morena, rather. Well, sympathy with Serino, and not Rolani, but Morena is the man who will be joining.
Then that changes how Mamelodi Sundowns will try and approach the game. Tabi Tembazwane will come on the right-hand side, and then and probably maybe with Shalolile maybe readjusting himself as well, because one side needs to be lopsided, so they need to decide which side is that, whether it's going to be on the side of Morena and Modau, or they'll go from Lake's side. So it's going to be very interesting to see if Morena can play with the Modau and be able to coexist in that position, because these are two similar players, but at least Tebo Mokoena gives you more entry box inside the opponent's half.
Of course, Tapelo Morena, one of the speedier men in South African football. Always exciting to see him play. He has some versatility too, with the fact that he's played right back and right wing back. I think played for both club and country in those positions. The Sudanese will remember him. Oh, what's happened here? Well, Rulani Mokoena and the rest of the staff have been sent back by the fourth official from Mozambique. Yellow card for Abdurrahman. Now, is it turning nasty in these early stages, or was that also an error from Abdurrahman?
It looks like he got Modau just outside the pitch when he's trying to block the ball, and yeah, he did get him on his shin, and probably that's why. And it was just next to Mamelodi Sundowns bench. That's why you saw the reaction there. And this is a player that Al Hilal needs to be on the pitch. They need his experience. They need his talent. And he should be intelligent in terms of his emotions and be able to play the game. And there's a lot of time that they can still come back into the game.
Yeah, very much the go-to guy, as we've seen in these early stages. Mugadam now with the kick against Shalolile. Faris Abdallah, who was a regular for Sudan in the World Cup qualifiers between September and November. Then they went to the Arab Cup in Qatar, lost all 3 games, sacked their coach and completely disbanded the team, including Abdallah was dropped from the Cup of Nations. They had a brand new side in the Cup of Nations, a lot of new caps there. 3 Al Hilal players today played in that tournament, but a lot of the better players were left out. Bit of a knee-jerk reaction after a disappointing Arab Cup in Qatar. New coach didn't serve them very well. They had that one draw at the Cup of Nations, and second game lost to Nigeria. Were pretty much out after that. Egypt in the final group game. They went home with 1 point, Sudan. But of course, they can point to the fact that they got the better of South Africa in the qualifying group, so do have that feather in their cap as far as today's match is concerned. Now Zwane in the penalty area. Little turn. Morena was providing some support. So Waladin, who was doing the defensive work. Well, it's good work from Ouattara to win the goal kick. He just shaved Shalolile's thigh there as it went out. Piri with a header. Turn here from Mustafa, big Nigerian striker up front. Nice work in close quarters by Mamelodi Sundowns, and Zwane gets away, and here is the pace of Morena. Very good tackle. Excellent stop by Said. Keeps Al Hilal in this game. That was Morena away. Reminds us of the game in Khartoum in last March when Bafana lost 2-0. Morena was up and down that right-hand side, had so many chances in that game, didn't convert them. Now it's in the middle from Faris Abdallah and cleared away. Good tackle, though. We've got to give them that.
It was a perfectly timed tackle, and I think with Morena there, he was undecided as to what he wanted to do. And I think he could have brought the ball on his right as quickly as possible inside the box and be able to do whatever he wanted to do. So he exposed the ball too much, and that's why the tackle came through.
Of all of the parts of his army that you feel Morena needs to work on is finishing, because he gets himself into those positions so often, and the percentage of conversions versus box entries is quite low. Particularly we saw with Bafana in the last Cup of Nations qualifiers. Some frustrating games where Morena might well have scored for his country on numerous occasions. But give him credit for making his way in there. Now here's Al Hilal with a very good opportunity. What's the referee say? Having a quick look. And play on. Abdallah. He hasn't spotted his teammate who is down on the ground, and so now it'll go down. Mugadam, the youngster who was at the Under-20 African Championships in Zambia a couple of years ago. Is he making a bit of a meal of this? This was the challenge from Mudal. Those sometimes can go, sometimes... Now, earlier on, this was the opportunity for Morena.
Yeah, you look at the brilliant line that Morena had, and Tembozwane being able to spot him, but I guess the decision, after that first touch, he slows down. Look at the goalkeeper. He hasn't decided exactly what he wanted to do. Like you said earlier on, he works so hard to put himself in those type of positions. And when you get in those positions, what matters most is the confidence. And I think it's a player that works so hard, but getting to those moments, his confidence now is being tested. So if he can get there more as often as possible and start scoring 1 or 2 goals, because he forever gets there, and that's one thing that we actually always speak about with him, is that you can't be working so hard and get into those positions you've got nothing to show for it.
Yeah, it's the difference between being a top PSL player and maybe earning himself a move overseas, because he's got all the qualities, particularly the pace that international teams are looking for. There's confirmation of the scoreline here. We just passed the half-hour mark at Royal Bafokeng Sports Palace. Good to be back at this venue. We were last year when Platinum Stars were still part of the top flight. World Cup venue, of course. This is where Taylor scored that free kick against Spain in the Confeds Cup. You remember that, Teko? Were you on the field that day?
Yeah, I was, and he scored a brilliant free kick, and from there on, whenever we had free kick, we were always looking for him to get that, because it's connection there. It was brilliant, and I think everybody was so happy that he had that type of a goal.
It's because he lives close by, of course, in Brits. Here is the run from from Morena rather, and what have Sundowns got out of that? It looks like a throw-in. No, it was Mudal, my apologies. Defensive work from Al Hassan. Getting past Faris Abdallah, who is a experienced international.
His work is going to be cut out today, because Morena now is also on the right-hand side, so he's going to require to defend a lot. But with that space being given on the right-hand side, they need to profit from that. They need to bring in those crosses. That's why I said Frank was in the box. They need to be able to play those balls inside the box.
Unfortunate handball there from Peter Shalulile. Well, this is the defender Mustafa Ahmed Said to clear. The man who made the challenge on Morena to deny him that goal-scoring opportunity. Adjugan, ball is a little bit too far forward. The idea a good one though, looking for Mugadam. Adjugan played for Panathinaikos in Greece, and he also played in the top flight in Belgium when he came to South Africa. Certainly good pedigree for a player signing for the PSL. Both him and Cape Town City were a little disappointed that didn't live up to his full potential in the league here. There were certainly glimpses of his talent. Been quite a big overall at City over the last couple of weeks, and be interested to see how they fare. We'll have live coverage on the weekend of that game against Royal AM in the Nedbank Cup, and then of course on Tuesday, City home to Kaizer Chiefs as the league resumes. That's also live for you here on your World of Champions.
Okay, one step, out.
Amazulu in Morocco tomorrow evening. They spent 24 hours on the plane to get there via Turkey. 10 hours the one way, another 6 across the other, yes. Plus, I think you'll know this, Teko, the worst, of course, for those flights is not so much the plane itself, it's the 6 hours you wait from the one to catch the one plane. You're sitting around in an airport.
That one that way you have to connect, I think that's very painful, because now you're sleeping on the benches and you don't know what to do with yourself at the airport, and that's why it's important when you win it. Actually, it's so rewarding because of all the sacrifices, all the pain that you had to go through, because some other countries there's no direct flight from South Africa, so we had to sit on those airports. Oh, I don't miss those.
And of course in your day, because it was such a long time ago, there was no free airport Wi-Fi, which they have these days. So.
I'm not that old.
Now here's Mustafa. Challenge from De Rook. Al-Hassan on that right-hand side. What exactly is the game plan here from Al Hilal? They do seem to switch it from flank to flank, looking to get the big man up front. Here's Abdallah now. That's a very inviting little ball, and De Rook's taking no chances.
He's the main man. Abdallah on the left-hand side. We anticipated that he's going to get into those areas and bring on the crosses. But off camera, you can see the coach is frustrated that Al Hilal is playing so slow. They're allowing Mamelodi Sundowns to come back and defend. He's expecting them to push the ball a little bit quicker to be creating enough opportunities. And I think that will be something that at halftime will be addressed to the players.
Certainly you've got all the coaching facilities Al Hilal with this training camp in the Cape, and goalkeeper coach and physical trainer from Brazil and Portugal, and assistants, and excellent logistical support. That's a good flick on. Chance here for Al Hilal. Adjugan. Well, he could have done a lot better with that particular effort on the left foot. He'll be very disappointed. There was an opportunity that offered itself for Al Hilal, a rare chance.
And we spoke about how dangerous they could be on the set pieces, and one good play, one good set piece inside the box, now they look dangerous. I think they need to look at that, we need to get more of this and be able to punish them. And of course with Adjugan, you expect better from him, especially outside the box.
Watch how this ball goes all the way through. There was a little flick on there, and Shalulile, it was looking to clear. There's the flick on.
And it's always dangerous to defend the ball, especially from the near post if it's an in-swinger, because once it bypasses one defensive midfielder or defensive player, it becomes a dangerous ball. There it passes Timber's one, and then it becomes anybody's ball. And I think that's where Al Hilal should be benefiting from that.
Down, little flick on, Shalulile, he was offside. That was an inadvertent own goal, but it won't count. Offside flag up against Shalulile. It came up very early, to the relief, I think, there in the end of the goalkeeper.
Madao playing a good ball with Tembazwane. Shalulile offside at that time as well. But it was a very, very good ball that Tembazwane knew exactly what he wanted to do. But defensively, there's a lot of questions from Al Hilal.
Good call by the linesman from Lesotho. You can see why he was on the line for the Cup of Nations final less than a week ago now in Yaoundé. Senegal beating Egypt. Patsuane from Maseru, school teacher by trade. So 6 minutes now to half-time. Gerald Piri with a set piece. Fairly easily cleared away. Here's Piri again. Now Adjugan. That's an interesting ball for Abdul Rahman. Needed a little interception from Lekay.
That was this is a free kick that Piri played Sundowns couldn't defend their line. But look at the pass from Ajugan. He opens himself up. He knows exactly what he wanted to do. The main man, he was looking for Yusuf to make the run, and that's where you want to see him playing in those areas.
Now a bit more height on this, and this is where they're dangerous again. And once more, Sundowns look a little uncomfortable. Fares Abdallah out wide. Here's Ajugan. Good work from Andile Jali, with Shalulile helping him out, and they'll settle for the throw in here. Well, he's beginning to get into the game a little bit, Ajugan, and just remind us how dangerous he can be. Down with the throw in. So confirmation that as we head towards half-time, there is a slender lead here for the home team, Mamelodi Sundowns, and they were, of course, in a way gifted an early goal, but credit to Zwane for seeing the opportunity and certainly taking it.
And from that, you'd expect Mamelodi Sundowns to continue and try and get the second one and be, in control and kill off the game, because the longer it goes like this, Al Hilal starting to get more confident. You can see also Ajugan from that pass as well. They're starting to play high up the pitch, and it's going to be a very difficult second half if Mamelodi Sundowns are getting that, the second goal early as possible.
We've already been told 2 minutes to be added on at the end of the 45. That's over the head of Mustafa. Now Fares Abdallah back inside again. This time Brian Onyango deals with it fairly comfortably. Ouattara to Piri, Malawi international. His dad also played for Malawi. Passage of play from Al Hilal, but very much in their own half. Earlier on today in the Nedbank Cup, the unknown Summerfield Dynamos from Chatsworth beating Utongati, and a little bit of an upset. And at the moment we hear it's still Stellenbosch 0, Baroka 0 in their first round game. Live coverage of that also on your World of Champions from Darnie Craven Stadium. Here come Abdurrahman again. Al Hilal stopped in their tracks. Dowd as well. Jali past Abdallah. A little physical battle there, which Jali will have put in the memory bank. I'm sure he'll be waiting for Abdallah around a quiet corner somewhere.
Andile plays, but I think Al Hilal are doing a great job knowing how dangerous they can be. It's always important also to cost a foul there, not to get a yellow card, but you know that once Mamelodi Sundowns get in the momentum there, and also you're out of possession, they will be able to punish you.
Abdallah clears. Good flick on here for Abdurrahman at the defensive pace of Mudau. That decision is going against the Sudanese striker. Remember, he's been booked already, and now referee Bondo not happy with the descent. Well, I think the sign language there needed no interpretation. You know very clearly where the referee stands on that. Must have some sympathy with the players, though, of course, battling away in this tough physical encounter, frustration when decisions don't go your way. Goalkeeper Abdeshreen has not had much to do in this game, to be fair, except pick up the ball out of his own net when Zwane scored, and he was almost beaten for a second time when Shalulile was just offside. Zwane with the only goal of the game so far. Faris Abdallah, Mohammed Yusuf Abdurrahman. Shot forces the corner, comes off Brian Onyango.
They're starting to find joy on the left-hand side with Abdallah. That now is getting, ahead of Mudau receiving the ball. But also what's important is Yusuf is occupying Mudau. And Tapelo Moreno needs to come back and help Mudau because Abdallah is coming on and they're overloading on the right-hand side.
Quickly taken by Piri. With Ajugan. Lost a bit of momentum there. That was out of play as well. That's a little bit sloppy from the two new players bought from the PSL by Al Hilal. So we're into stoppage time already here at Royal Bafokeng Sports Palace. Zwane continues, gets Sundowns further up the field. Referee's allowing play to continue here. Shalulile almost stealing it away, but now he will give away the free kick. And is he going to get a yellow card as well? Two yellow cards in this tournament means a one-match suspension. So confirmation of the card for Shalulile. Necessary really, because those all add up, and suddenly when you need the player in a vital match, he's unavailable because of suspension. Shalulile always gets back, always working, helping out with the defensive duties when needed. So half-time, right on cue from Joshua Bondo. Temba Zwane with a goal that separates these two sides. Mamelodi Sundowns maybe with an extra chance to increase the lead. There was certainly an opportunity for Tapelo Morena. Your thoughts on the first half, Teko?
I think Mamelodi Sundowns to create more chances and be ruthless and get that second goal to be able to be in control of the game.